大谷翔平選手が約5年ぶりの投手専念で毎回の2桁13三振を奪う圧巻投球を見せました。今シーズン3度目のマウンドに上がった大谷翔平選手。この日は投打二刀流ではなく投手専念での先発登板が発表され、 MLB にも大きな衝撃が走りました。試合前のインタビューではロバーツ監督がこの異例の判断について言及。さらに野球への思いが人一倍強いことで MLB 内でも知られる大谷翔平選手が投手専念を伝えられたその瞬間の気になる舞台裏にも質問が及びました。
How was his first reaction when you said that no hitting tomorrow? He said something. No.
He went.
Just facial expression.
What went into ohtani not DHing today?
Just feeling that what gives him the best chance to stay loose during the outing. Feel good. And he got hit on the scapula, the back of the shoulder, a couple days ago, so there's still some soreness in there. So, when he's hitting, there's a component that he's in the cage getting ready to hit. And if we can take that off his plate and just focus on one thing tonight, we felt, training staff, pitching coaches, and myself, we just felt it was the best thing for him. So once I told him, he completely understood.
He's obviously still been throwing the last couple of days. Has he had issues like getting loose again to hit after throwing in the afternoons? Is that what sort of prompted this?
He feels much better today than he did 2 days ago, and he feels better today than he did yesterday. There was some of that early, which is natural, but going into tonight, he feels good.
Last week he talked about being a little fatigued after his start and said that his mechanics were also off. Is that something you considered as well?
Not really in the sense because if it weren't for the hit by pitch, he would have been DHing and pitching tonight. But I do think that just to be able to pitch and focus on that, I think will be a benefit for the mind and the body. And hopefully, we're just in a little moment of fatigue and we can get past it, which I think that...
You expect him to hit next summer?
We do, yes.
As the season plays out, would you consider doing this again if there wasn't a situation by being hit by a pitch or something unforeseen?
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's something that, I'm going to keep an eye on, if it makes sense.
So he not going to hitting it after he finished pitching? He's not a pitching option?
No. You can tell Carlos Mendoza he's an option.
How receptive was he when you brought this idea to him? Was he surprised you were giving him this idea?
I guess maybe surprised, but was fine with it.
Were you expecting some more pushback from him when you told him?
No, I think that we're in a spot where I think he understands that I'm making decisions that are best for the player, for him, and for the team.
You said he understood that, but how was his first reaction when you said that no hitting tomorrow? He said something. No. Something.
He went.
Just facial expression.
大谷翔平選手が投手専念で出場するのはエンゼルス時代の2021年5月28日アスレチックス戦以来約5年1783日ぶりとなりました。そして今日 DH にはラッシング選手が入り、打順は1番がタッカー選手となっています。そしてこの日の先発で大きな見どころとなっていたのが連続イニング自責点0の記録でした。全球団の選手が背番号42を着用して戦うジャッキー・ロビンソンデー。そんな特別な一戦で28回3分の2まで記録を伸ばしていた大谷翔平投手は立ち上がりからテンポの良い投球でスタジアムを沸かせていきます。3回にはメッツ・リンドーア選手と11球に及ぶ熱戦を繰り広げるとその後の両者の表情が話題となりました。3回に2塁でフルカウント11球に及ぶ熱戦を制し 最後は 99.6 マイル、約160キロの剛速球で空振り三振に仕留めました。圧巻の投球で空振りをしたリンドーア選手は思わず苦笑い。一方の大谷翔平選手も笑みを浮かべながらベンチに引き上げていきます。この場面について NHKBS で解説を務めた元メジャーリーガーの岩村明則氏も、
最後ギアを上げましたね。やられたという顔ですよね。素晴らしい球ですよね。スイーパーを見せた後に球速差で三振を取りましたね
と語り、決め球の見事さを称賛しています。しかし5回、大谷翔平投手はメレンデスに今季初タイムリーを許し、連続自責点イニングが32回3分の2で途絶えました。ただ、元マリナーズ岩隈久志氏と自身が持っていたメジャー日本人先発投手の最長記録となる31回3分の2イニング連続自責0を上回り、記録を更新。そして6回には3連続三振という圧巻の投球で締めくくり、勝ち投手の権利を持って降板。6回95球2安打1失点10奪三振2四球でここまで3登板の防御率は 0.50。 なお2桁奪三振は2度目のトミー・ジョン手術から復帰後初。エンゼルス時代の2023年6月27日、ホワイトソックス戦以来の怪記録となりました。そしてドジャースは今日ラッシング選手の満塁ホームランなどチーム4本のホームランで大谷翔平投手を援護。大谷翔平選手は2勝目を挙げました。約5年ぶりの投手専念でメッツにスイープを決めたドジャース、大谷翔平選手がメジャーで投手3冠という快挙を達成しています。そして今日の全米中継を担当した ESPN は試合後大谷翔平投手を大絶賛。
It's like Monday night on a Wednesday night, and it's a different sport, and I would say it's like riding a bike, but that would be awfully disrespectful to the skill set on display.
You know, obviously in a night when we honor one of the greatest people to ever walk the planet, and everybody's wearing number 42, that was another layer of, hoping that I would get the right identification going. But it was fun. These guys to my right who have left.
It's obvious who the guy wearing 42 on the mound is, and Shohei Ohtani, a guy you called an all-star game when he was with Anaheim. Joe, I believe Stanford Steve was giving me the rundown on that. But to get the full Shohei experience with this Dodger team that is an absolute wagon, Joe, what do you do? How would you describe all that?
It's unlike anything I've seen, and I've covered this game a long time. I don't know who you would compare this team to right now. They're so far and away the best team in the game. They do everything right. Their manager is outstanding and extremely underrated. He does a terrific job getting this team ready to play. I mean, Ohtani is just lights out on the mound. The guy's a 4-time MVP for what he does with his bat. Nobody's ever done that in the history of this game. They can beat you a lot of different ways. They're good in their bullpen. They play good defense. It just goes on and on and on. It's just a question of who can hang with them, and then when the postseason starts, because the Dodgers will be in the postseason, can anybody beat them in a series? And right now, the way they're playing, the answer would probably be no.
一方8連敗となったメッツは試合後大荒れ。試合後大谷翔平投手の投手専念にはこりごりとメッツメンドーサ監督は語りました。
We're not playing good baseball right now. Everybody's frustrated. And we got to use the off day tomorrow to kind of regroup and get back at it. Because we got to get going here. It's not a good showing right now.
ドジャース選手らは5年ぶりの大谷翔平選手投手専念試合に大興奮の様子でした。
Yeah, it's obviously the approach has simplified a little bit, and like you said, we've seen results as of early, but at the same time, it's no race. It's you got to keep this pace. You have to keep the consistency of what I'm doing every day to stay ready, regardless of how many days I play. And honestly, I'm glad I could give this team another weapon at the time.
Do you feel those like approach changes when you're on that 0-2 count, you get a double out of it?
Yeah, I see a difference this year as to last year. There's more thoughts going on in the box, understanding the way the guy in front of me is thinking, the way the guy behind me is thinking. And in this game, that's almost everything. Every hitter that steps up to the plate has the ability to hit whatever pitch type, pitch shape. But as long as you execute it, you have to put it in your head in the first place. And yeah, I was glad I could stay on the changeup there in my first at bat after chasing one down low. And yeah, the results started to show.
There's something to like not just being in your second year in this role, but second year in the big leagues and being more used to like what daily life is like.
Yeah, for sure. I understand my routine a little better. I understand what I need to do to get ready. I understand how much time I need to be ready to play a game, regardless of if I'm DHing, taking it at bat in the 7th, or starting the game behind the plate. But yeah, like I said, I've simplified things, and as of now, they're showing results, and we're gonna ride the wave as long as we can.
Sometimes players take a minute to adjust to being in a DH role. Do you think being like a backup pitcher is going to help you manage that more so?
Yeah, I'd almost give props to the player development with this organization. I DH'd a good bit throughout the minor leagues. That was kind of my off day, so to say, when I wasn't catching, and I started to learn a little bit towards the end how to manage that role. It's not an easy role. Seeing Shohei do it every day, I think that's what is so special. And to see his mindset and to see his approach as to how he takes on the DH role, it's arguably harder than playing in the field every inning. You have to fight a mental toll a little bit from pitch to pitch, at bat to at bat. You sit around for 2 or 3 innings sometimes, and that's your time to think on whatever happened that it lasted. But no, I would say I give my props to player development in this organization for giving me that opportunity to obviously DH a good bit throughout the minors. Yeah, it's Shohei. I don't have too much more to say on top of that. I think it was cool to see him basically just put all of his attention into what he's doing on the mound, and not that he wasn't already one of the better pitchers in the big leagues now, but I think he's arguably one of the best now when you give him that opportunity to just solely worry about pitching. Everyone knows what he can do with a bat. Everyone knows what he can do with a baseball. But being able to separate the two sometimes is honestly better for the player.
When you've caught him in the past, like, can you sort of see him like reach to a different gear when he gets runners on base or after he gets up a run, knowing the situation?
Yeah, he's as competitive as they come. It's you take pride as a catcher and a player being a competitor, and to be able to see it physically, emotionally, the way he pitches on the mound, I think it's pretty cool. It's one of those things where it's like, all right, you did this, now watch this, kind of thing. And only the best players in the world can do things like that on a field like this.
How much better do you think he could be as a pitcher if he only focused on that?
Honestly, I don't even want to worry about that, because he's the best player on this earth for a reason, and the biggest reason to that is because he does both so well. So I honestly, in a perfect world, I never want to even have to think about that. But I'll let him know. If he wants to let me take some at-bats in the DH role, I'll take him. No, he's, like I said, I never want to think about that. I want to let him continue to do what he's doing on a baseball field, regardless of whether it's on a mound or in a box. It's fun to watch.
Doc's talked a lot about recently, like, about the confidence and, like, some of, like, the younger players, like you guys. Yeah. What do you think, how you performed tonight, what does that do to your confidence?
Yeah, anything you do to help this team win as a young guy, it gives you a boost of confidence. And I mean, you look around this clubhouse, you see some of the superstars do this every night, and I think it's a testament as to the young players starting to strive for something like that, and starting to push themselves. All right, like, I'm going to help this team win day in, day out, rather than, all right, you have a big swing once a month. Everyone runs into something, you know. But no, I think that's what allows this team to continue to get better day after day. Just the competitive edge of how many superstars we have in this room.
以上、今回もご視聴いただきありがとうございました。別の動画でもお会いできるのを楽しみにしております。